Well, I think for our the collaboration between the two of us, like our work is all fabric based, and I think it speaks about the roles of women in their specific context. So for me, it's about dating in Singapore as a woman, lah. And for your work, it's like women in Java, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, actually, okay. For me, what I see between your works and my work, um, because your unlit matches is like your first response to, let's say, a profile picture in dating apps. So it's like it's correct, right? It's like your first response to when you scroll the dating apps and things like that.
Maybe not first response. It's like after thinking about it, then I like wrote some things together. But yeah, pretty much lah. Like after seeing the profile, after like talking to some of them.
So it's like your perception perception towards other people.
Right. I think okay. So I think a lot of them.
Or is it towards the other gender?
I think it's there's definitely some of that, but I think it's more like what I'm looking for. So okay, let me read you some of the. So one of them is all I am is an unlit match. If there's a spark, would we catch a flame? And then pleasure should not be guilty. When did sleeping become a hobby? Let's not be precious with love. God's gift to women was probably vibrators. Sorry, hun. So I think it's like in response to someone's profile that like for that one, it was like they wrote something about how they are God's gift to women lah. And I kind of had this response. So that one is like a bit more surface level, but maybe the when did sleeping become a hobby is like because I can see a trend of like everyone saying like their favorite hobby is sleeping and stuff. Or like there's one like dancing.
Favorite hobby sleeping.
Yeah, they fucking love it, right? This kind of thing. There's one of my favorite ones is dancing stars are not solely born of chaos. So I saw on someone's profile that they had written a Nietzsche quote. I was like, wow, there's a lot of like, I don't know, men who love to quote philosophers on their like profiles. They think it makes them seem very deep. And
okay.
and I really thought about it for a while because I actually really don't like this idea that like so the original quote is like dancing stars are made from chaos. And I just feel like in a way the meaning of it is that you can only have something like beautiful like art or something after you have like suffered, that you need to have like some sort of suffering period to like make like something good or like have something good in life, which I don't really agree with. And I think like of course that can be true, but I don't think that's something that everyone should aspire to go and like, I don't know, chase after. Like, oh, I need to experience some hardship to like, I don't know, have good things in life. Just like art shouldn't be one from suffering.
Okay. Then okay, I think there is some sort of a link between work and my work.
Okay.
Because my work, okay, the one that I have uploaded on the Google Drive, yeah, that one, the whole series, the title is Women of Java. So basically it's it's the whole series is 35 classification of women according to Javanese Primbon. Javanese Primbon is like Feng Shui. or yeah, like horoscope. Again, not really horoscope lah. It's more like feng shui, primbon. So this primbon is a book, and the book contains many things like calculation of if you want to get married, you want to find a good date, like when you should be married, or whether your name and your partner's name matches. Then the book also contains things like, oh, if you want to buy a house, you can calculate like whether this, let's say you want to buy a house in village A, so
Mhm.
you can calculate whether this location will bring you fortune or not. It's very similar to feng shui, but it's Javanese.
Mm-mm-mm.
So there's this one chapter. uh, the book mentions about description of human,
Mm,
but more specifically woman.
mm.
So they have very judging the book by its cover, because
Okay.
uh, the way they describe the woman is like, oh, if this woman has white forehead, that means they have high libido. Or uh, if they have a big tummy, like chubby tummy, then that means they are lazy, things like that. So they are judging the characteristic of a woman based on the appearance, the physical
Right.
appearance. They call it reading. Okay, they call it katurangan. So katurangan basically means is like reading the outer shell.
Okay.
Okay, let me and I think it's very judgmental of men, because Primbon book was written by men like
Right.
hundreds of years ago,
Mm.
and you know people are still reading it lah. So it's like uh I mean, for your work, unlit matches, it's like you read other people's profile, then you have something to say about them, then you record it in your unlit matches. But
Mm-mm.
for my work, I am copying whatever this man thinks of women,
Mm.
and
Mm.
most most of their readings are very judgmental. So they even like categorize all the women into 35 images. That's why
Okay.
this series, Women of Java, got 35 images,
Mm.
and most of them are not really good lah. Like, okay, let me flip my camera, then I show you one example.
Okay.
I show you the good one first lah. This one. This one is considered good woman. Like
Okay.
you, this woman has all the desired characteristic to become a wife, because this woman is very petite, then fair skin, um, doesn't really talk much, but the most important thing, she brings fortune. This image is the girl's how to say what's the English word? Yeah, this is rice. So usually, like after you harvest the paddy field, then
Mm.
you have to put all the rice into one tray. Then
Mm.
you keep flipping the tray
Right.
to
To
get
like
rid of
remove the husk,
the
right?
skin.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So this image is like uh it's actually a personification of a kitchen, how the kitchen keeps providing you with with fortune and and things that you need in order to survive living. It's actually a good thing lah. Like a woman as a personification of a kitchen that keeps providing. But then how how to say, yeah, like it's like those men thinks that the most important thing in a wife is to bring fortune. It's like quite shallow lah.
Yeah.
And then like the physical description like must be petite, must have fair skin, doesn't talk much. Wow.
Yucks.
Then okay, come to this image, this which one, yeah? This one. uh, this one is really, I think, okay, this image is about a woman
Mm,
who is so the characteristic is the eyes are a bit like half closed, like sleepy eye.
mm.
Then it is said that this type of woman uh, are very good teacher, but very careless. And when they are raising children, sometimes they make wrong decision. But essentially, the face, like the facial look, is always tired. And they say, okay, this one might be a good wife, but not that good. It's a When I see this description, I'm a bit confused lah, because I think they are talking about they are mother of a newborn child. Of course, mother of newborn child always very
Tired.
tired, right? Then it's very human for yeah. And when they say this woman sometimes make bad decision, I think it's very human for anyone to sometimes make bad decision. Like,
When they're
why
tired.
do you have to pick on a person? Yeah. Then when they say essentially they are good teachers, I think that's why I conclude that they're talking about a new mother, because I think all mothers,
Mm,
they are good teachers in their own way. And of
right.
course lah, they will always make bad decisions, sometimes good decisions, but you cannot judge a person because of that, because it's very human to do that. Yeah. So that's why this Primbon book is very male centric.
But does
And
the
they can speak freely about women, like, oh, this type of woman is like this woman with very thick lips, they are usually like this. But then in Primbon, uh, there is very little description of male.
yeah.
So they can speak from A to Z about woman, like, oh, this one with chubby cheeks means the person is like what. But then for men, they don't really have any of that, of those kind of description.
Mm,
So it's a bit unfair. Okay, it's not a bit unfair, it's very unfair lah, it's very unfair.
right.
And when I created this series, I
Mm,
was happily I was happily drawing, like illustrating the book, because I think, oh, it's interesting. You can understand a person by looking at their facial features or by their physical feature. But then after I finish everything, then already exhibited, then I look again into the works. Then I feel like, hey, actually this one is really interesting to be discussed,
mm,
because I am a woman, but I am illustrating whatever those men thinks about women. And
right.
I personally have uh I personally have things that I disagree.
Mm,
So so it's a very good opportunity to present some of these works again, because I now have a new perception of my
Mm,
own work.
right. Yeah. I think there's a very strong thread between these two bodies of work, because in a way it's like we were both responding to like something that was already existing. And like, wow, is that the thunder?
Yeah.
Scaries. Yeah, and then I think for me, I responded with text, and then you responded by like drawing them. But then obviously it's like having a different perspective, having a new lens on the same work. And I think it's also interesting that both of us have already shown these works and then like are showing them like together again.
Yeah.
Hmm. But yeah, I think there's something interesting about like how women like exist in society, like the roles in which women are expected to play lah. And I think what's interesting is you said
Yeah.
that this Prembon book is still being used like now, right?
Mhm. Even when I bought my own house, I calculated all the things using Primbon book, like whether the name of the village match my name.
Yeah, no, I think it's very interesting because in a way it's very similar to like astrology or like yeah, feng shui that I think people are still using now. But of course there's like I think with all these like time old like traditions, there's a lot of like misogyny lah that is a part of it. Yeah. Unfortunately it's like that lah.
Yeah.
Cannot escape. Actually, I think
So
that's also the
I
case
think in
for
here we are not disagreeing with with the tradition or with whatever old stuff, but we just have a new perspective lah.
yeah. I also think so because it's not like obviously I don't swear off online dating. Like I'm still using the apps. I'm still like talking to people. So it's not like I'm saying that the institution of like dating this way is like, wow, so fucked up, like just throw it out the window. So I think it's the same, like about like kind of shifting your own perspective and like how to apply something that is made, it's kind of supposed to make your life easier, but in a way that's like critical and thoughtful without like dismissing it entirely.
But essentially we are talking about perception of one gender towards the other.
Right. Female gaze.
Yeah, female gaze. Why not? It's a good title, like female gaze. Yeah, I like that.
You like? It's a
Yeah.
title that I've wanted to use for a long time actually.
I think it's a very good title, like female gaze. Usually we have all the male gaze in the world. Then now we have female gaze.
And I think it relates very directly to our work because we are both
Yeah.
like kind of challenging the male gaze in our own ways.
Mm-hmm.